Alright guys, so today we'll watch this video by low-level game dev. Definitely go and check out this channel.
Check out this code. It's about 300 lines of C++ and it's a fully working Flappy Bird clone. So, is it really hard to make a game in C++? Back in 20...
Making games in C++ is very difficult, and we're talking about commercial games. Yes, games like Flappy Bird with simple mechanics could be easy to do and could be not rather very complicated to design. But the problem, and the main problem, comes when you are making a commercial game and now you have multiple systems. Let's say you are making a Metroidvania game with a complicated ability system, complicated inventory system, economic system, a player movement, multiple enemies, boss fights even, something that have a system for a map like Colonite where you collect map stuff and things like that. Of course, you would have more complicated systems for multilingual support, multiple accessibility support like colorblind support and stuff like that. So making a commercial game is very, very difficult without a framework, a game engine, something like that, like Unity or Unreal or Godot or any Brave engine or whatever engine you are using. It's very different because when you have a very complicated stuff, now you have to design a framework for it, which means you should make your own game engine, because from scratch without a game engine in C++, it would be nearly impossible to make a very complicated commercial game for a scratch game, by the way, because making a Metroidvania is not like the most hard thing of making a video game, but it would be very, very more complicated if you just made it without a framework like a game engine.
2020, I attended my first game dev meeting. I finally showcased my first Steam game. After working on it for a long time, I wanted feedback, so I talked to a random guy. And when I showed him my game, he asked with concern, "Bro, why are you opening Visual Studio?" He expected Unity, but I made my game entirely in C++. If you love coding like I do, you might...
Yeah, many people expect that because to have better optimization, better scalability, better accessibility options, portable options if you want to make the game for PS4, Xbox, Nintendo, mobile, iOS and Android. So that's why people expect usually to use a game engine. Making your own game engine though is something also very delicate and very fascinating in game development, because it would be more specified of making one game, which would be like an amazing thing to do. But making a game just from scratch one times without planning to use your own game engine and coding the game engine, then the game, or a game engine for a specific kind of games that you will do in your studio, would be not necessary, and in a matter that we would say, why would you even do that? Because it's just harder and it does not have rather than specifications that if you want to specify things in the way that you like, it will have no pros other than just multiple cons, to be honest.
I want to create games in C++ without an engine. It's just more fun. But I bet people judge you for that choice, right?
No, it's fun. It's just as fun as making your own game engine, because being able to play with all the variables, choose your own physics engine, and stuff like that is fun. But many people, of course, would say that it's not the best option for commercial games.
The same situation. My first Minecraft clone was created with OpenGL and C++. I even entered it in a programming contest. By the way, if you also want to learn OpenGL to make cool stuff like this, check out my OpenGL fail-proof course in the description. At the contest, there weren't many participants, so I had the best project. Yet, I didn't get a perfect score. One judge said I limited my potential by not using a game engine. I'll return to...
That's right. If he is someone like you who like using a game engine, chose a game engine that you C++, you would be way more better in making video games. And again, if you like it, do it. But if you want to get the most potential from you, if you want to get the most things you can do from yourself, you need to use a game engine.
The story later, But you can tell that I was very frustrated for being different, and you might feel the same. So let's settle the debate on using an engine or not. And because I know you want to make a game in C++, I'll share my simple 3-step process. You'll see it's easier than it seems. And also, I do C++ game dev on my channel, so if you subscribe, I promise to help you in your journey. First, whether you use an engine or not, there are pros and cons. Many think that not using a game engine means wasting time reinventing the wheel and never finishing your game. But if you know programming, that's not true. A game engine helps at the start, but it can cause issues later. This includes optimization.
Yeah, but these difficulties comes because of lack of experience in that engine. Like many people have optimization problems in Unity when making realistic games, but that actually comes from people not understanding how to make more professional optimization methods. And many people don't study optimization even when making video games, to be honest. Many people do not know how to make chunk loading. Most people, something funny I find people do not use tile sets for 2D games that are going to go in mobile, which you would say, why not using tile set is not very okay. It's because using a very large painted landscapes which are not tile setted would make the compression methods very difficult, which would consider it not being very optimized for mobile phones, because you need to compress most of your sprites to by 50%. So many people do not really understand the optimization. Many people don't do LODs even. Many people do not know how to reduce shadow casting, when to do shadow casting and when not. Many people do not really understand these complicated features. They do not do the decreasing of the patches by multiple methods. They do not really understand to do difficult optimization methods, and that's not a problem usually from the engine. It's just that people are more focused on the art thing and coding thing than game design, optimization, and narrative, unfortunately.
Problems and difficulty adding certain features. Making a game from scratch takes longer to prototype, but because it's all custom, you face fewer problems later. Of course, it varies. A 2D game can be easily made in C++, but a 3D shooter will benefit.
Even a 2D game. Again, can you make a Metroidvania like Hollow Knight with just C++? Yeah, you will face a very big ton amount of problems, promise me, because complicated 2D games are as much complicated as simple 3D games, like for example Fall Guys. And it's not just about you might having more problems because of OpenGL integration is harder for 3D than 2D, but no, from a framework perspective it would be the same as hard as small games, 3D games like Fall Guys, for example.
More from a pre-made engine. In the end, I released my game on Steam, while most haters still don't have any game to show. Back to my Minecraft game. The judge thought I was limiting my potential by not learning a game engine, but for a game like Minecraft, you need to create every system yourself. With hundreds of thousands of blocks, you can make a separate Unity entity for each one. Updating the world, computing meshes, rendering, physics and multiplayer systems all need to be custom made. So for a game like that, it's easier to build it from scratch.
Of course, the type of the game you are doing is important, but you can do your own game engine for Minecraft if you want to make such a unique game. Just do your own game engine. That's it. And by the way, many people do stuff there and there to make similar games in Unity and Unreal. But it's very specified, like Minecraft when it was first designed. You can do it in a custom game engine, but not using a game engine at all is something that I find a bit weird.
An engine. That's why most Minecraft-like games are written in C++ from the ground up. It all depends on the context. If you like coding more than using a game engine, there's nothing wrong with that. So let me show you how to make games like I do. Here's the 3-step process. First, learn the language well. There's a lot of C++, and I even made a video about it. But here's the truth. You don't need most advanced C++ concepts to make a game. You only need to know functions, structs, and some basic features like std vector. That's almost all I used in my code. Then you can jump straight to step 2. Start making a simple game by following a tutorial. Listen closely, because I'm going to make this as simple as possible for you. You need a graphics library to display things on the screen. This means linking to it. which is where many beginners struggle. It's normal to face challenges finding a library, linking it, and
Yeah,
finding a tutorial.
by the way, this is right. When you are making a game engine, you could have faced the same problem. Of course, when you are making an app or something like that, you will face these problems because different than Unity and the asset store and the already built-in features, many people need to use libraries, and these libraries have some problems, and these libraries linking with other libraries could have multiple also problems, and it's just a mess and errors in the terminal. So yeah, you will face this problem which you won't face in game engines, but again, customizability is a very respectful pros.
I used to spend a whole day linking a library, if I could link to it at all. So in step 2, I wanted to display a simple sprite on the screen as fast as possible.
Many people do a triangle thingy for starting this, but yeah, you can do this. Use IamGUI, by the way, for the UI if you were making a game engine. So it's a very good UI library. That's something that I learned a bit of the hard way. Also, don't use Vulkan. OpenGL is way better for beginners, in my opinion. And then you can, like, there are some libraries that convert OpenGL to Vulkan if you want that, and most of the devices support OpenGL, not Vulkan. And yeah, there's libraries for physics. Don't make your own physics engine. You can use already done physics engine and stuff like that
to get a very quick win. Then you can spend time searching for the right 2D library and learning how to link it. But first, make a very simple 2D game. I have two options for you. Use the SFML library or my own drawing library. Pick either, and I link a good tutorial for both in the description. And because linking libraries can be tricky, I created pre-made setups that work on any IDE. That video is also linked in the description. With this, if you are at step 2, there is no excuse. You should display a sprite on the screen within an hour of watching this video with the provided resources. But wait, because without step 3, you might stay stuck making simple games forever. Once you know how to create a basic C++ game, there's only...
Yeah, because again, it's very harder to learn making it from scratch, but the pros other than customizability, by the way, why even people who make games inside game engine, I advise them to try that. It's because they make them understand how their game engine actually work, which make them use it in a very better way, by the way. So I used to do all the time video games that I don't usually commercial publish it, but I make a custom game engine and make a custom game for it, and that's made me understand how to use game engines more, made me even able to use game engines that I never used before easily. And because all game engines are built in the same way, it makes you way better at understanding them and using them. So definitely do it if you are senior, by the way. Do not do it if you are junior. You'll burn out yourself, and it will make you way better at your job. And I believe that.
One right way to keep learning. It's not about finding better tutorials or learning new features. It's about making bigger projects. You need to start a project that's a bit
That's
too
right.
hard.
Little projects do not give you as much experience as making a commercial game. Making a commercial game is a way different thing than just making a video game.
But not impossible. You'll get stuck and need help.
Of course,
online.
nothing is
But that's
impossible.
learning. I recommend making a Terraria clone. It's easy to start by rendering some squares on the screen, but it can get as complex as you can handle it by adding features like collision, physics,
Region
and
and
enemy
AI, layering the stuff, and maybe implementing VFX and a particle system, and yeah, there's a lot to do.
As a final tip, keep your code simple. You could split your Terraria world into chunks, but you can also just store it in a simple 2D array.
In my opinion, the best way to do is learn a game engine, make a game in a game engine, make maybe 3 small games, maybe then a commercial game, then go do this to understand your game engine more. Then after making a game like he did in that way, go right back to your game engine and do games. You will be way better. You should study after that. After you made video games, you need to study the stuff that are very important in commercial games: narrative design, gameplay principles and designs, and optimization. Also porting and stuff like that. And by that, you could really master making video games, and it's now up to you to make a very good game.
Yes, it works. That's what I do in my Steam game. Now on my channel I do C++ game dev, so you'll find my videos very useful. So if you subscribe, I promise to help you in your journey. And now check out
an amazing video by low-level game dev. Definitely go and check out his channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.